action. Smith sets up at midfield. He wants the end zone. He wants Lockett, and he's got it again. Lockett earlier had a 35-yard touchdown reception. This one of 40 yards.
Good afternoon, Hunger for More. Welcome back to the Hunger for More network. Inspired by the Chronicles of the Dictator. We will start the show with our first segment. We will check in with President Sol for our league leaders. Thank you, President Sol.
Shannon, back to our regularly scheduled programming after 2 weeks of PSA announcements. Shannon, we are back to break down the roster. Before we get started with that, Mr. Sharp, what do you have to say? Skip, 2 weeks ago, I got on my high horse here. And no Mr. Ed jokes, Skip. No Mr. Ed jokes. I got on my high horse and I told the dick to quit being a dick. Immediately, he stopped being a dick. Beautiful. Last week, I got on here and talked about how Hunger's dead. I talked about everything the dick was doing wrong. I said there'd be no trade. Skip. It must be that time of the year. It must be that time of the year, Skip, because they're listening to us again. But you go first, Skip. You go first. Shannon, before we get into it, clearly one team who we have not given enough love to on this particular show, Shannon, TTS, the Terrible Towels. I don't know what, Shannon, let me say this. The towel for a long time has been a wet towel on the floor of all of our leagues, Shannon. But within the last calendar year, that towel has gone through the dryer. In baseball, he had one of the best records, Shannon, and came in second place. That's okay. And now here in Hunger, the towel in second place, looking like a threat, Mr. Sharp. Skip, we got to give it up to the towel. I mean, Pat Mahomes, Nick Chubb, he found a little bit of juice in Jeff Wilson Jr., okay? The depth isn't necessarily there for him. As bye weeks kick in, may see some fall off, but I think you could say that with any team. He's currently second in the league, but I like him more than I like Tampa Bay, which is bad for me to say, but I think Tampa Bay's got some injuries. He's going to have a hard time overcoming. I like the towel, Skip, and another team that we have not really given a ton of love to will be Getting Blurry. Skip, some people said Getting Blurry was one of the most overrated managers in the league. But he has Mr. Josh Allen, Mr. Gabe Davis. That is quite the hookup. Mr. Allaire has been good. Skip, could you imagine? Now, let's rewind about a month ago in the Slack channel, Skip. The words being exchanged by TTS and Getting Blurry. Skip, if I was the blog, I'm not. By the way, I'm not the blog. If I was the blog, my season's already over, So I'd be looking ahead to a TTS for Getting Blurry Super Bowl, and I would just get my microphone ready, Skip. I think we would have both of them on the show. I think words will be Skip. We might have to have a restraining order. Shannon, I would love to see a Blurry versus Towel championship matchup just for the trash talk. And before we wrap, Shannon, I have a note here. You would like to address something. Skip, every single year, when we leave the draft, all we do is we hear about how good of a draft the Guns had. And then every single year, Skip, right around this time of the year, leaves start to turn to brown. And that team that was so damn good that we were told about was going to be amazing is being traded for bits and pieces because the Guns got to rebuild through the entire league. Skip, we call them the notorious fraudsters. And continually, he shows that he is one of the worst managers that has ever walked the earth, Skip. Straight up. Ever walked the earth. He's lucky to have a 2-3 record. Now he's going to go, make a little robot full of pieces, trades away Joe Mixon, Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, and Antonio Gibson. Skip, that's one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Joe Mixon's going to be all right. He was asking for Christian McCaffrey for him, Skip. And then he goes and trades him away for a bunch of mediocre parts, depth pieces. But we know how much the notorious fraudsters like depth pieces. Oh, my God. Do we ever, Skip? We know how much the notorious fraudsters love your cast-offs. Mm-hmm. Skip, I am so sick of this guy. By the way, Skip, if you don't have any plans this Sunday, pay-per-view, you will see at the funeral of the Guns. He will be buried, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 feet underground. Skip, next week, we will have a special performance by Casey and the Sunshine Band singing our favorite songs. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, Skip, goodbye. Stupid fucking fraudsters. Pardon me. CB, bleep that.
Thank you, blog.
Anytime.
Next we have TTS. Take it away.
Got to get back here more often.
It's a great area.
And we will.
Here's Allen. Trying to go deep to Davis. He pulled it in.
They'd have 2 downs to try to get the yardage. Let's see what happens on third. Carr, Adams, downfield. He's got it. Touchdown. Las Vegas. Comes off the ball. He stutters and double moves.
6 offensive linemen set for the Browns.
Cho looking for the first down. Sweeping to the right. He's going to get it. Breaking tackles and up the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Cleveland. "41 yards.
Thank you, TTS. We now will take it the one, the only. Notorious Gunners.
Thank you, Christina.
Guns out. Week 5. Take 55. And he ain't paying me for this shit neither. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get right into it. For week 5, we have the Dark Knights taking on the Notorious Gunners, and it was Dark Knights 97 and the Gunners with 74. Dark Knights rode the back of Cooper Kupp with 22, Mark Andrews with 19, and MVS, he had 12. Dontrell Hilliard gave him a cheap touchdown, and that was plenty. As Guns, all he got was Tom Brady with a 26 spot in his final start for the franchise. A.J. Brown, he had 4. Brandon Cooks, he had 4. Corey Davis, he also had 4. And Rashad Penny, he's lost for the year. Joe Mixon, also his final start for the Guns, he had 10. Wasn't nearly enough. Guns, he goes 2-3. Knights, he goes to 3-2. On to the next matchup. We had the Diesel 19. He had 50 points this week, and he had 49 last week. You add those together, and you still lost by nearly 19. As Tampa Bay, he stays undefeated, as he brought out Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, who gave him 30 of those 116 points. They're coming to play for the Guns next week. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay will inherit the GOAT. He'll inherit Tom Brady. On the other side, nobody worth mentioning for the Diesel, as the kicker leads the roster in scoring for the second straight week. Kiss this season goodbye. On to the next matchup, we had the Killer Cowboys. He put up 113, and that was good enough for a 33-point ass kicking of every point counts. Man, these dudes from Abington, they fucking suck. As Drake London's in the lineup for every point counts. Hunter Renfrow, what the hell happened to him? Alvin Kamara, his best week in a while, but it just isn't enough. As the bell cow Leonard Fournette, the Carter Adams connection is plenty for Killer Cowboys, but he goes up against the revamped Gunners lineup this week, and he's not going to have a QB. We know a trade's coming. Next matchup, another one not really worth mentioning, but the El Commandadors, who we wrote off weeks ago, well, they edge out Big Johnson's. Well, 3 weeks of doing Guns Out, and well, 3 Big Johnson L's. Man, this team fucking sucks. He loses every goddamn week. Why would I even go through his lineup when he's starting Trevor Lawrence? But on the other side, Justin Jefferson continues to say, you want to write our lineup off? Well, we have 1 star. He put up 28 points. Michael Pittman, he should be doing better. He had 8. Benjamin, a guy we like that coming out of Arizona, he's got 14. And the El Commandadors, they've refused to die. Big Johnson's, he's fucking roadkill. On to the next matchup. It's TTS with 122. Goodfellas with 109. We gave Goodfellas a little bit of credit last week as a good manager. Kirk Cousins, he matched Tom Brady in points. T. Higgins, what the fuck happened there? We're not really sure. Saquon continues to have a good year. Travis Kelce, big week. You'd think this is good enough to get a win, especially when Gerald Everett had 0 points for Todd. But look at this lineup. Jeff Wilson, Nick Chubb, Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel, Patrick Mahomes. Who the hell is beating him? Didn't he win last year? 4-1 TTS. Man, this team looks like trouble. Getting blurry. He bounces back to league prominence once again with a 144-90 win over a former legend squad I haven't seen squad since the offseason. Josh Allen, he put up 46 points. Gabe Davis, he put up 33, showing why these two are a premier duo. Dalvin Cook, that was a fluke. You won't get it every week. But add in Mike Williams and Blurry, he's a threat to win this league too. Seth, on the other side, you can't have Geno Smith getting 33% of your points. You really just don't have enough help outside of that. Nice week from Taysom Hill. We know the Swiss Army knife will continue to cut. On the next matchup, we had Skills taking on Saints. It was 121-85 for Skills. And yes, back-to-back wins. Aaron Rodgers, Marquise Brown, Chris Godwin, Antonio Gibson, who now also plays for the Guns. Josh Jacobs, his best week in a long time. Actually, his best week since last, as this guy looks like a revamped stud. On the other side, Bryce Hall, Romeo Dubes, a lot of young guys and weird names, and Evan Ingram, he overachieved, but Justin Herbert, yeah, what's up with him too? Not enough. In our last matchup of the week, we had Soul Assassins taking on Lamar Stars, and Assassins is starting to look dangerous when you put Jalen Hurts with a poop raid and DK Metcalf behind that lethal Geno Smith, and yeah, Javante's out for the year, Melvin Gordon. Yeah, this team looks a little dangerous. On the other side, just dropped Juju Smith-Schuster. We discussed it. Lamar, what's up? Back-to-back weeks negative, and Tyreek Hill doesn't look like he's going to be as good as last year. Darren Waller trending towards a drop. So that about does it for Guns Out. You got all the matchups. When we look at the standings, we had Tampa Bay staying undefeated. We have TTS at 4-1. We have Killer Cowboys at 4-1. We have Lamar Stars at 4-1. And then we have the Getting Blurry 3-2s. We have the Dark Knights 3-2s. And then you got some 2 and 3 dangerous teams. You got the revamped Guns. We got Soul starting to look dangerous. We got Goodfellas trying to stay alive. And then you got guys like Big Johnson, season over. Diesel, season over. Every point counts, season over. I shouldn't be saying your season's over in week 5, but it is. So that's it. A little bit of a subdued Guns Out, but next week we'll do better. Guns Out.
We will then take it to Skills for the highly anticipated Skills Power Rankings. Skills. Thank you, Skills.
My pleasure, Christina.
And lastly, the Dick with the Dick special for the week.
Hi everyone. I am Oprah Winfrey. Mark Patterson, it is my pleasure to have you on my show.
Thank you, Oprah.
But why quit? It was 2 weeks before the draft. Is it true that the clown haunted you in your dreams?
Oprah, it is untrue. Yes, I had the commissioner's power. And yes, I did quit, but being president affected me at work and at home. Oprah, I wasn't even able to get it up to please the wife.
Well,
welcome everyone and welcome back. It's so good to see you all still here. Can you believe it's been 8 years since we first aired a Dick cartoon? You all know why we are here today. Several of you are watching tonight's show with fear. It's okay to have some anxiety. You want to know if you are about to be on stage like President Patterson was those 8 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you what you all been waiting for. My next guest is the Dick. Dick. Why ruin something good? Why be a dick? Why cause the drama?
Blog and cowboys are bitches. I didn't even bully them. Fuck Lil Skills too. He runs his mouth like he thinks he is the VA Gunners. I am the league. They ought to be the ones praising the dick, blessing the dick, blowing the dick.
You really are a piece of shit. We have Tompo Bay backstage. Don't make me call him out here.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Look, Dick, you are a man of mystery. An Abington grad, a Quiznos alumni, a Houlihan's alumni, but over the past 10 years you have been MIA, yet you have increasingly managed to be a bigger dick. What has happened to you over the past 10 years? Tell us, Dick, have you been heartbroken, done prison time, or are you just suffering from long COVID? Dick, the people want to know. What are you up to?
I'll tell you what the fuck he does. He is an annoying piece of shit that stays in your ass even when you try to break it off with your cheeks.
Were you just daydreaming on my show?
Sorry, Oprah. I have these nightmares from members of the league. Some are members I have disagreed with. Others are members I have wronged as a dick. I don't know how to get rid of these visions.
Maybe you should stop being a fucking dick for once. Maybe I should just smack the dick. See if you got the balls to hit me back.
Make it stop. Please. Make it stop, Oprah.
What a pussy.
Oprah, I thought this was a family show.
Calling it like it is. You are unfit to be a leader of these great leagues. It's time you get your act together and make a change.
It doesn't matter what the dick says. I will never work with him again.
Agreed. Once a dick, always a dick.
CB. What have you done? This isn't the way of hunger for more. You must all come together. For hunger. The people need you back. The people need me back. The people need us back. The dick is limp. Now is our time. Let's work together to end this dictatorship once and for all.
Thanks, Dick. We will see you next week. If anyone has additional content they would like to provide to the show, please reach out to the Dick. Until next week, I'm Christina, signing off.
This Sunday. Career versus career match. Now I'm scared. Find an title match, all your titles versus mine on the line, winner takes all. I'd never let anyone touch my previous titles, bird boy. Fine. Hair versus hair match. I'm going to destroy you.